Now this is a venue both of us absolutely love. We're on the bank today. Give us a wave, Lee.
Yep.
We're doing a little bit of filming today for The Edge, and we are at Staunton Harold. And look how low the water level is. Absolutely ridiculous how low the water is at the minute. Obviously, we've had a really dry few months, no rain at all, and the water level has massively dropped. So what we thought is we'd just have a little walk along and just show you lot what you're chucking on and how pegs differ totally, because it's great to be able to see almost like the line that you'd be fishing in a normal feeder match. So let's get over here. And the first thing that we need to talk about are these beauties. Look, this is what's snagging you up every time you're chucking in.
Well, this bit here, Rob, where we're stood right now is probably 25 metres from full depth. And if you chuck your feeder here, you are losing the lot every single time.
This is what you chuck on, and you know you come back and your hook length's frayed. It's all frayed, and then you see. Oh, we all have a laugh about it, but the guy next to you, he cracks off after about half hour of the match.
Yeah.
And it's just because his shock leader's all been frayed up.
Well, what happens is with these mussels, when they decide to open up, they'll all be open, but as soon as your line touches them, they effectively start to close. So if you're sitting there for like, you know, when people say, well, if I wound in straight away, it was not a problem. If you chuck out and leave it for like 5-6 minutes and the line is brushing against them, the mussels close up, you're screwed. But literally, look, let's just walk.
So we're going to go, what, 5 metres to the side? I mean, look how big, look at the size of some of these
stones covered in mussels.
Clumps of mussels.
Yeah, look.
So 5 metres to the side.
If I chucked here,
now
I'm chucking here and the guy next to me is going, I'm losing the lot every time, but I'm chucking on this and it's absolutely perfect. There's no mussels, there's nothing to even think about. But then again, walk another 2 metres away, we're back on
back on crunching mussels. Unbelievable.
So it just goes to show how important a good plumber is. Look at a lovely snag here. Look, if you were chucking there, you're snagged up and losing the lot.
It's the sort of thing that you just can't picture, can you, when you're sitting there on your box?
No,
Hey!
You never envisage this sort of. But again, look here, and then we just come off the mussels, come past this horrendous snag, and then you'd be chucking on the soft silt.
Yeah.
On the same line. This is the same distance from the bank, so you just never. This is why. And when you look into the water, Rob, just show the guys. I don't know if your phone can see into the water.
Oh, see, yeah.
But like here, right, there is just basically no real mussels. No. It's almost as if the water at the moment, you can see there's some mussels into the water just there, but if I was fishing here, I could effectively chuck here on a beautiful, soft, silty, you know, well, it's not particularly silty, but it's just obviously like a nice bottom. Whereas if I chuck there, I mean, look at that. Look at that.
I know, ridiculous. You'd lose everything. But what you know, what's interesting is because I think, Lee, this is going down as we're talking. Look at the water line, how you can see it's going down. It's sort of damp a metre from the water line, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
What I want to do is just have a look round the corner, because where we're sitting now,
we're on about 253 at the moment.
Well, look how gradual that slope drops off. So all you're doing when you're chucking further is getting a real small depth increase. You can see that's the road that everyone talks about, going into the reservoir. Apparently that track goes a long way in, but I'm not too sure about that, seeing that now. Let's walk down here, because round this corner the pegs are slightly deeper. It smells like the beach, doesn't it? I'll tell you what, wouldn't want to be barefoot on the beach with all these mussels, would you? I just didn't realise I mean, the bank is literally covered in these mussels. I mean, how fortunate must you be to be fishing when you chuck out?
Mussels are really bad here, but when you start looking into the water,
you think there's a line of them, do you?
There's a line. I think it must be a depth thing, but about from there onwards, I can see a lot less mussels in the water.
Yeah, maybe.
So maybe it's to do with the fact that the mussels generally are in a certain sort of depth or area or sunlight. I don't know, I'm not a mussel expert. Speak to Frankie.
Speak to Frankie, Mussel. Yeah, Frankie's Mr. Mussel. So look, round this corner, whereas we've just come from an area where it was a really nice gradual depth increase,
Yeah.
you can see here we go into like loads of little bays, and we know this from, you know, Tamar's a classic example. When we go down there, there's all little bays, especially I'm thinking on the Cornwall bank, where
even on the Devon bank as well, mate.
there's deep pegs, there's shallow pegs.
You get bits on the Devon bank, and they're seeing it at the moment now, where you can see them. They're only sat 6 metres further out than they usually are, and then there's pegs where you're sat 20 metres further out. When you look up here, look at how the water isn't that far from the tree line. When we walk around, I mean, now we're only, I don't know, 12 metres from the pegs, whereas round that corner we were 30 metres from the pegs. And Rob,
look,
if I put my rod here, I can't really see the bottom. It's dropping.
Yeah, it's dropping all the time.
It's probably 2.5 foot.
It's a lot steeper here, a lot steeper. And generally, you know, I don't know about you, Lee, but I've always caught shorter on these pegs because I think you've got some depth closer in. And obviously this proves it, doesn't it?
Yeah, and look at the lack of mussels here.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so much, there's so many less mussels.
Strange how those mussels are in particular areas, isn't it?
Sure,
in
I don't know if fish feed off them or not. But
yeah, I think they love them. But it's just getting obviously how do you present your bait over the top of them, and now we know how many there are.
You're looking for this sort of thing, aren't you? Here, nice smooth.
Yeah.
Little perch there in the edge, chasing a roach.
Yeah, superb. Right, so there's just a little bit of an insight into, I suppose, any reservoir really, any natural venue when it's low, and what you're actually chucking into. We're going to get a bit of kit out of the van and have a day's fishing. We'll see you later.